What up, it's your boy Navtastic, and welcome back to another episode of my United series. In this episode, we're just going to run through the off season after what's been a fantastic 2 years. Just do the basics of end of season team meeting. As you can see, my job status has now reached untouchable status. That'll obviously change by the time the start of the season comes around. But right now, they're not even contemplating getting rid of me, and why should they? I've given them no reason to. The Oscar contract um, turned down is quite an interesting one. I think he's a brilliant little player. So if he is available, he'd be one I'd look at. Who knows? We'll see. Just doing Man United shareholders. Fair play, we're well safe of that. Yeah, we're doing well financially. There's no doubt about that. So, also, we've got tax bill. Nothing really pressing. Sponsorship's an interesting one. We've got a ton of new sponsorships, or renewed sponsorship rather, but the financial figure is almost double what it was last, and you can see financially we have a healthy balance. That's a lot down to the prize money we've achieved, but also like TV money and sponsorship money is a big contributor to that. As you can see, expenditure has been really quite flat throughout. Income kind of fluctuates. Peak come up soon where the season starts or the season's just gone. Again, salaries and basically stagnant since the start. Projection is the balance is to increase gently and consistently, which is what you want to see. You don't want to see a sharp like movement. You want it to be quite steady, irrespective of how you do. You're constantly improving at a gentle pace. Because you want to be spending too. The salary projections are really not reliable because it takes into the fact that contracts are up, but it doesn't consider like renewals and whatnot. And salaries will increase as more and more people have more money. Salaries are naturally going to increase. So transfer fees. I have a dilemma in terms of strikers situation right now. I'm got Hernandez and Van Persie, whose contracts are up at the end of this year. I would have considered keeping one if their salaries were reasonable, but quite high. So I'm actually considering selling both. Talking about a bit of a shift there, huh? Both had fantastic years, but Van Persie's now in his 30s. He is only going to decline from here. And I think I could still get good money for him. I can't really afford to spend 180 grand plus on him. As for Hernandez, I'd like to keep him, but I know I can get around 25 million for him probably, or in that region, 25 million. So I'm thinking, why not cash in on him? I got Rooney who can play up top. Henriquez is coming back on loan. So why not use them a bit more and cash in on Hernandez rather than playing him over 100k too. Aside from that, as you can see, I've done a key players, Balanta, Pereira, Zalalem, Pjanic, all integral figures. Carrick is also one that's going to become expendable at 33. It's probably not worth me renewing his contract. Go with the youth, trust them, and get what I can for Carrick. I know it's not going to be much, maybe like 2.5 million max, because his contract's coming up to an end. And Fletcher is probably another one that will have to go, which is a shame. He's another one that bleeds United, but sometimes when you're looking forward, there's hard decisions to be made, and that is one of them. Balanta's requesting a transfer because his contract isn't matching his requirements, so I'm definitely not going to accept that. I'm going to just offer him a better contract. And you need to be careful for during periods like this, because you don't want to be shown to be weak, but at the same time you have to keep your best players. So yeah, that's why I'm keeping him. But just gonna go through some of the clauses here. I think there's some we could buy. I'm gonna try and buy ones where they're pretty much guaranteed to happen. So I think Zalalem has one, which is just appearance money. I know he's gonna make 21 more appearances, so I'll buy that and save myself a few quid. There aren't really more clauses there, so just gonna move on. Scouting a ton of players. Lamella's been one who's really shone in the league. There's Ericsson. Gonna try what I can with Lamella. I don't really know how I'd fit in because I play sort of a narrow three, but he's more suited to playing on the wing. Just an interesting one to consider. I mean, I could transfer him, but I don't know. It's one that I'll ponder for probably the whole transfer window. Oscar's another one I'd like to sign, but he's going to be tricky. They're going to want a ton of money for him. I think maybe like some of the other players I'm going to look at is Christian Eriksen's definitely done well. Thiago, I might have a look at some point. I still feel we should have signed him in the summer, just gone in real life. I think he's a brilliant little player and he's shown to be shining at Bayern Munich right now. Barcelona must be gutted they lost him because he was pretty much the future of their midfield as well. But it is what it is. I'm going to try for him. And otherwise, it's pretty standard. Nothing really too glamorous going on this off season. I don't think I'm going to change much defensively. Quite solid there. Goalkeeper's locked in. It's really just midfield. Maybe a striker. Maybe. I don't know, that could boil on. Oscar's agent's offering him to me, but I mean the fees that Chelsea are looking for are just ridiculous. So if we have to look elsewhere, that's not a big problem. We'll see what we can do. Chelsea are actually interested in Carrick. I don't really want to sell them anyone, but if the interest is thin and there's no one really there, then I might have to consider it. I'll see how much I can get though. West Ham want Lindegaard, so that just builds this destination for him. He's been very patient, I should say. He's never really caused that much trouble, and unfortunately for him, De Gea has been pretty much steady in goal. He's never had any injuries. They want Fletcher too, so I'll accept Fletcher bids as well. So we're potentially offloading a ton of salary as well as getting some transfer fees in. Not huge transfer fees. I mean, considering the contribution Carrick's made to the club, he's only going for 2.5 million. Like Contrao, he's one that has become expendable just because he's a very good player, but I can get a good amount of money for him. So I'm gonna accept 15 million from Spurs, or negotiated and they accepted it. So that's what we'll do. Rooney's my top merchandise man. He's pretty much like a symbol of the club now. He's been there so long. Well, Kagawa is number 2, which was interesting. He's another brilliant player for us. I really hope we don't get rid of him in real life because I think he is superb. Utilised or underutilised, and when he has been utilised, incorrectly utilised, he is a number 10. Just like Matt is a number 10, and we've seen the problem with him playing out wide as well. So there's something to be resolved there. I'm actually chucking a couple of cheeky bits for Messi, just because I have the money to. I know he's not going to accept my offer, but it's a bit of fun. Let's see what we can do. If he does, I mean, obviously I'm going to pull the trigger, but I don't see it happening. Pogba is definitely one I've been interested in trying to bring back. It's just that you're asking for so much money and it's just not happening. As you can see, all these players I'm looking at are very good players. Players that are going to add some real value immediately. I would like to bolster the youth team, but there's a ton of youth talent around, so I'm just looking at top class talent and what is available to improve us, you know. Ozil's another one that could be added to the club. I mean, Arsenal haven't done well in the past 2 years, so you could maybe be tempted away. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. See, I mean, the Pogba negotiations is ridiculous. Carrick. West Ham bidding for Lindegaard. I've accepted that offer. Contrast joining Spurs. So he follows the way of Evra, and unfortunately for Evra, he's gonna be replaced again by the same guy twice. Ugh, deja vu. Poor guy. But he must know he's at the end of his career, well, near enough now. Kernchild will be a good addition to their squad as well. I mean, I got Luke Shaw, who has been fantastic, so I don't really need another player of Kernchild's ability. It would have been nice to keep him, but he deserves better. Karaoke is a youth team player actually, so I'm going to offer him a new contract. He'll feature a bit, hopefully. But yeah, it's quite busy. There you go. Lindegaard is off. He's, like I said, been fantastic. He deserves a shot of a number one at another club. Which also leaves me with the predicament of trying to sign a keeper, but it's not the highest priority. Look, my Messi offer has been accepted, and immediately he is not interested, which is to be expected. Jim Molyneux signed a professional deal, so he's in. He's another striker I have. I forgot to mention him. So yeah, you can see why I can get rid of Hernandez and Van Persie. It's just seeing if there's anyone interested, really. I haven't really offered them out. Still deciding if I should get rid of one or two. Well, we'll see. Luke Shaw gets his first cap for England. I'm surprised it's taken this long, to be honest, because he's been brilliant. And there goes Carrick as well, 2.7 million. Considering he came in for 18, he's been a fantastic contributor to the squad. Chelsea add another old player. I don't know if I'm not sure what to think. He adds something that they need in terms of someone being very calm and composed, but that squad gets older. David Court's retirement is one that I'll need to address because that leaves me a bit exposed in terms of coaching. But we'll do that. We'll definitely address that. Another rejection from Pogba. I made a new offer. I'm not really interested in Mario Gomez, so thanks but no thanks. Spurs are playing hardball with Eric Lamela. I know there's a point where they're going to accept it, and then I'm just going to be like, do I really want him? Is he worth spending 20 million plus on? I don't know. Especially because he doesn't fit my system. If he fit my system, I would have pulled the trigger on it in a heartbeat. Again, nothing major happening. Just normal, like, scouting reports. The sponsorship table, which we top once again. That's to be expected. Gerd Muller's gone, so he's another one for me to replace. Lots of changes at the moment, backroom staff and on the field. So we have a tricky little off-season period here. It's refreshing the squad, but it's making sure that is done in a quick fashion so we can get it all bedded in time for the start of the season. So we got time to play with. It's nearly the end of June now. So reviewing things still, accepting the invites for 21's League and the 18's League. Both very important parts for development. City have done poorly, so I'm going to try and tempt Aguero away from them. If I can get Aguero, then Hernandez and Van Persie can say bye-bye. Just because that's their contract and they're not going to accept pay cuts, and nor should they, so that's where we are. Jimmy Lumsden retired. We got some serious coaching to address. So here's the TV money. You can see the balance is going to spike now. Bayern negotiating for Thiago. I reckon I can go like a deal that's worth 40 million over X number of years, but only paying up 20 million up front, or 28 million as that sounds. I think that's a fair deal. I mean, he's going to be in my midfield for years to come. So if I get this, the way I'd picture it at the minute is if Rooney goes back up top, I put Kagawa and Pjanic in the attacking midfield as my starters, and then there you go. Thiago's accepted the contract as well. Then Yanezai, Pereira, Morrison, they're all going to rotate in and out. We've got 60 games a season the way we're playing at the minute, so there's tons of opportunity, tons of rotation that'll be needed. Then you just see the quality there. Pereira and Yanezai and Morrison, the way that they've been playing, are backups, and that's some great news there. Thiago set to sign for us, brilliant. I mean, that immediately jumps up in quality again. Let's just see the stats. Look at that. 24 years old, so there's at least 6 years at prime. But in the modern day, even 8 years now. You've seen that Carrick is at 33, is only now really starting to dip. I've only not included him last season as much just because of the rise of Zelalem. Way to go. Still has a way to go, but has shown himself to be a very good player. I'm excited to have him in the squad, Thiago. And I've extended Fabio's deal because of Contra going. I'm potentially still in the market for a left back, a young left back that can back up Luke Shaw. Let's see if you can find a good thing. If there's nothing good, then Fabio's more than worthy of being a backup. Van Persie isn't attracting many offers. I think it is that age and salary combination. And you can see Henriquez is very suitable to fill in for Hernandez and Van Persie. So I'll bring him into the senior squad and take him off loan availability and give him a go. I mean, he's worthy of it. Just give him a chance. Zaha's an interesting one. He plays out wide again, so similar problem to Lamela. So I might potentially sell him. He's done well in the seasons he's had with Rennes and at United, but potential cash injection there, and he's just going to be burning salary. Maybe a loan. We'll see. Michael Keane is one that is going to get promoted. I think he's a good defensive option, so he'll be around. Hernandez is now a British citizen, which increases his attractiveness to anyone that wants to buy him because of his EU passport. Standard Liège are interested in Monique Vermeil, so they can have him. Good little player, but never going to really break through. And I'll take the money that they're offering. David Petrucci is one that I don't really want to loan out now, but I'll listen to any transfer offers. Again, board confidence is good. Let's just go. They're just doing that again because it's the month of July. Derby have made an offer. I don't think that's really that great, so I'm going to reject that. No offers for 7 players. Jeez. Villa bid for Fletcher. Accept that. Players that look like they're not going to break through, but are worth a few quid, I might sell, rather than listen to loans. Just because I'm thinking, look, not going to make it at United. Let's give you an opportunity to go somewhere to make a name yourself. Celtic are in for Eric Dier. I'm going to accept that. Latanzios is the first coach I'm bringing in to replace some of the outgoing ones. I've got some other ones and some familiar names actually, so keep an eye out for that later in the episode. Oh, here's one actually right now. You'll see it in a second. I'm just going to increase that off of Pogba. Eric Steele, famous for working with De Gea. Did a brilliant job with him. Bringing him back. Don't really want Quintero. Quintero will actually play a part in other episodes, not particularly in this series. Ronaldinho Gaucho, the legend, the man, he'll become a coach at the end of his contract. So, can you just imagine the influence he'll have? Fletcher signing for Villa. I'm looking forward to. I wish I could see Ronaldinho on a training ground. Can you imagine? Just be brilliant. It's skilling everyone. But now things are sort of gearing up to the start of the season. It's like dream team to watch and whatnot. I think Southampton is one of the rise. They've been talking about it. They're sort of going under the radar, kind of like they are in real life. Not so much, and people are noticing them, but they're building something. If they can hold their players, who knows what they can achieve. Just give Michael Keane and Hernandez an extra bit of rest. Still not happy that Mexico took Hernandez away from the Champions League final. I mean, come on now. Pogba's happy at the club, so I'll probably give up my chase there. But Eric Diaz set to sign for Celtic. I'll let him go. He didn't spend a tremendous amount of time at United, but I made a profit from the few years he was here, or rather the couple of years he was here. So that's a good bit of business for me. And he's still young enough, has enough potential to do well. Maybe earn an England spot later down the line. But here you go. I was trying to offer Hernandez a lower deal, or look at how much he would want, with the potential to bring him back, but too much. I was thinking Hernandez, he's still at his peak, but over 100k is not worth it for me. I've got a plethora of options already, so why sort of keep after that? Draxler pens a new contract, Pogba signs a new deal, so those two are out of the question for me. Bet that I was trying to sign from Braga. See if he joins. Should be quite a simple one, straightforward one. Dimitri Mitchell's doing well. Again, probably the one that's not gonna last. 18.75. Dream on Valencia, or more than that. Oh, United want to renew a contract. Fantastic. Do that. Let's do that. Just boost everyone at the club. Gaucho out with that, or Ronaldinho out with injury. I've agreed the contract with Novo. Now it's just a matter of formality. Get a little bit of money from that Tanikov sale there, which is good to see. Hope he does well. Oh no, poor Novo. He's gonna fail his medical, and who knows? I'll probably end my interest in him for now. Well, let's see what happens. Nothing major. So Zaha set to move to Tottenham on loan. That's gonna increase his exposure. He'll get some first team football there, and if he does well, that increases his transfer value. And I'll sell him at the end of the season for a little bit more. So that's why I accepted that rather than a transfer offer. There's no real bids for him. There you go. There's that Nova deal cancellation. We knew it was coming. Here's a left back that I've been looking at. He's a regen, so he's young and he's potential. Bustamante is another one. I'm not interested in Bustamante as much as I am in Paris, so I'm going to try and sign Ignacio Paris. Ponchelas is another one. Looking at the Argentinian prospects, because they look a lot better than others I've seen on there. I actually couldn't find them in the search. I just thought I'd have a look at River Plate and Boca Juniors, and it came up with a bit of gold. Trust Chelsea to really make it difficult for me. It's a great offer as well, 25.5 million. Damn them. I really don't want to sell to Chelsea. anyone else. Anyone else except for Liverpool, Chelsea, that kind of club. I want to like just get a somewhere decent, but not to like a direct someone rival. You know, Ponchelas has accepted the offer, so I just offer him a deal, which is probably going to be accepted, making it difficult for me. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Hernandez wants to discuss future. I knew that was coming as soon as I rejected the Chelsea play, but just fair play. But come on, you can't ask me to accept that offer. Damn tricky like shared ownership things or percentage ownership. But we signed him. He's a good prospect. Paris's offer has been accepted, so again trying to do that. Valencia still not making a decent enough offer. Just have to hope someone else sneaks in there. Favourites for the Premier League, which is good to see. It's not the most interesting in terms of league data. So I'm trying to get Aguero, but I think they're not going to accept it. Oh, Arsenal are coming now. Again, a team that I'm not really wanting to sell to, but they're in a position right now where I'm not too threatened. Offer comes in, I'll pull their deal off the table. Southampton, fantastic. That's where I want them to go to. So I'm going to accept the Southampton offer and just reject everyone else, and I'm going to withdraw the Arsenal one too. Southampton's a club that I'd love to see him do well at, and help Southampton do well at as well. Aguero wants to join United, which hopefully upsets the ranks even more. And I only wish City could do this badly in real life, but instead it's my beloved United. But it is what it is. I'm not going to accept a Henriquez loan deal. He's going to play in the first team this season. Leroy Marioni looks like a fantastic player. It's going to be just... I don't think Inter are going to sell. There's a 5-star prospect, so... I don't think it's going to happen. So the pre-season matches are going to start now. I'm not really focusing too much on that. I'm going to let the assistant take care of it. It's too many like personnel changes to be in charge of right now. And by this stage, players are very comfortable with one another, so chemistry is quite good. I'm not making wholesale changes after all. Actually, this season I would say I have to dispute my own statement there. There's been quite a lot of changes, so it's important that we have the right players in place to replace them. Luyan's a keeper, but I was thinking about this deal in a very sort of commercial way, which is not the right way to think about it. But he is a good player. Oh, an offer for Petrucci, I will accept that. West Brom would be a good fit as well. I'd like to see that happen. Let's see if there's any other... Let's see. Nick Powell's agreed a new deal. I'm not interested in Bentaleb. And Hernandez is set to sign with Southampton. So a good deal for all parties included. Fantastic to see. It's a very rare thing in football nowadays, but happy. Everyone is happy. Agents offering me Aguero now. So let's see what happens. Can only hope. Any opportunity to weaken City and strengthen us, I will take. Paris's work permit, I'm going to appeal that. Fingers crossed. We overcome Villarreal, but it was a struggle. Yeah. Hunter, not really interested. Alan Stubbs, and the coach. It's actually good for the back room. Otamendi, not really interested. Petrucci is set to sign for West Brom, so best of luck to him. And we have Paris granted a work permit, so he is now in. Roberts, another coach. So now we have our left backs sorted, and we've got enough coverage there too. I mean, it's not the experience of Quintrell, but very good prospect nonetheless. We bought as a keeper that a lot of teams are interested in, so I thought I'd chuck my hat in there too, but the competition is quite intense for him. Just need to register Thiago, Henriquez, Carioca, Nick Powell, Michael Keane, all people that are gonna play some part in the first team squad this year. So they need to be registered, even if it is quite early on. We're into August now. The season's very close. I'm not gonna make that many more changes. I still want to get rid of Van Persie, but there's no one biting for him at the minute. But there's still a long window to go too. The depth is quite good. Potentially maybe replace Carrick. We've got Powell, who's come back in. Fran Prieto could play midfield, and Zelalem. But maybe a more physical presence. We'll see. We'll see how we get on in the first 3 matches, really. I know that's not a real barometer of how the squad is, but I think it could help set the tone for the first part. And if we need to address it, we can address it in January, So Weibold is signing for Atletico. Who finally get a replacement for Courtois. Vito Manone is actually a good backup, very good backup for me. He's free at the moment, he's not attached to a club, so I've offered him a contract and hopefully he signs with us. But with the season drawing close, I'm going to end the episode probably quite soon. And in the next episode, we'll start the season. So, quite a boring off-season, but we've brought in Thiago, hopefully bring in Manone, and we've got rid of a few players. Van Persie may yet go, but we'll see what happens in the rest of the transfer window. But until next time, have a good one. Bye bye now.